Alright, so I'm assuming the mesmerized level has something to do with story progression, maybe? I don't know. Let's move forward. Like I said, I have like another hour and I want to call it.
This is despicable.
Oh, for crying out loud. Get combo kill, bitch. Asshole. Ugh. So dumb. I didn't even want to kill any of them. But they left me with no choice. Could I go over here? Is this it? This might be it. Wait, how the hell did she get to the chapel that fast? Influenza, frequently complicated with pneumonia. To prevent any cause of Spanish flu, stay at home. There's two morons over here. Check it, 3. And this one is Alright.
It's closed.
Shit, there's more assholes here. Stealth is really not a good place in this area.
This is no place for you, sir. Step away.
I need to go forward and make a left. I need to go over here.
Please open the door, sir. Turn around, sir.
Okay, let's do this.
More and more. Smells like rotten meat. I'm near, I know it. This is no place for you, sir. Hey, don't come no closer. Die, vermin!
First off, I didn't go over there.
Every night. Aye. But the guards recruit more and more every year.
When did you join the guard? 2 days ago. This is my first patrol. Elite! Elite!
Oh, that was easy.
Close.
Oh, these guys are idiots. What? How did this guy come over here?
Please open the door, sir.
He reminds me of the torch assholes from Dark Souls.
More and more blood leeches every night. Aye. The guards recruit more and more every year.
Ah, interesting. This guy's really tough. Did he just increase in level? Wow. This guy's terrible at his job. Oh, it's nice. Not really what I wanted. I was trying to be stealthy, but of course I have to go this way. Yeah. So I can't be in conflict or be near enemies in order for me to progress through areas? That is so stupid. Who thought that was a good idea? This game has potential, but they really didn't think this through, though. Like, you can't play stealthily. I mean, you might get lucky to avoid enemies, but there's no crouch button. Curfews at 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. I don't think the mask is what you really need to worry about. I'm just saying. You can't go this way anyway.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert! Stop it!
Oh.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Albert, huh?
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Wow.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Promising recruit succeeded.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
How ironic. Has to be fucking pretty for you to keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
Oh, he's also fatigued as well.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Recovering, nice.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Sort of bloody joke to you, isn't it? Stealing drugs from the sick and suffering.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
You have a black bloody heart, boy.
Huh.
What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Migraine. I don't have anything for that.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just failed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
I'm not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's just a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Ha!
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Interesting. Bringing a veteran, needs some medication since he came back from the front. He needs a migraine, but I'm not sure if I have that schematic. Okay, the percentage has gone up a little bit. But now I need to make it more... No, I need something for... Yeah, I have to treat him for the cold, that's right. I just don't have anything with him. I'm telling you, I think she's a vampire. It makes perfect sense, actually.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Millhouse, huh? That's great.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
The wet boots
Darius
are proud of me.
Oh yeah. So proud they'll kill your ass soon enough, I'm sure of it.
Me, I'll not die in some piss stinking alley reeking worse than a week old lappy.
Someday you'll understand. You've wasted your life away.
Death inside, is this it? Looks like it. This is my new safe house? Well, I may as well, see if I can create anything new. I gotta be honest, this is not what I figured a vampire game would be more like. I mean, yeah, I am doing that, but I thought it would be more stealthy in the shadows, you know. Not to say it's not fun. I definitely am enjoying playing the game. It's just not what I expected. Could be worse. Another ring. Another ring. Wow. Is that a female? Like, I can't tell. Oh, I can see they haven't been doing the dishes. Looks like somebody broke the stairs here. Large bottle of pills. Interesting. Wow, this place is a treasure trove worth of items, it looks like. Holy crap. Oh, it says it's complete already. The harder they fall. Interesting. Succeeded, succeeded. Tools of trade. Oh! I didn't know that was a quest line, never mind. Oh, I guess you have to sell it. That makes sense. Didn't I pick something else up from the boss fight earlier? I thought I did. Hmm. There we go. Oh, look! Nice! It's now in stable condition. Yes! I still need to give him the treatment. He's healthy now. Awesome. He still has a migraine, but I still need to do something about him though. Uh-oh. Fatigue. 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 Oh my god. Everyone has fatigue now all of a sudden. Shit. Oh boy. Everyone has fatigue. There's like 6 people with fatigue over there. It's ridiculous. They're not even doing anything. They should be like sleeping or something or taking shifts. Why are they all tired? You're not gonna be effective as a doctor or a nurse if you're not sleeping.
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say, a live tenant's a paying tenant.
Of course.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Wow. And I have to treat for the cold.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this, in any case.
What? You give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
I want to know everything about the recent violence, Cadogan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people. But that's business, isn't it?
Take this as my final warning. You will not profit from the misery of others. Business is one thing, but what you do is quite another.
Really? What you gonna do? You ain't from here. You ain't Whitechapel, Doctor. You wouldn't know the first thing about playing dirty, even if you wanted to.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
What a dick. I would kill him, but I'll just drop the fucking morale of this place. It's not worth it.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Bronchitis? I could heal him. I think I do have ability to get the bronchitis. Darus Patrici, whatever.
Maybe it's time to see if this Christina is still working nearby.
Impressive. He disappeared.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
Who's that? Well, let me go back to my safe house. And I can get the cure. I'll get the bronchitis cure so I can give it to him. Or I hope I can actually make it. Maybe by doing that it will help the area out. You can upgrade and customize your melee weapons and firearms using a workbench. Yikes, I have enough. Okay. Your health regenerates slowly over time. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Not as fast as I would like, but hopefully maybe we can do something about that later on. Yeah, I have to be honest, the game is kind of basic right now. If you think about the level ups, the powers aren't nearly as vast as I would like. I mean, there are some ultimates and such, too, but... like, I can't just mesmerize certain enemies with weapons, which kind of sucks. There should have been a method if you can sneak and you press like L1 or whatever, you can mesmerize them or whatever. Or at least open a dialogue with them. And then I can control them and then eradicate them. There was this other woman here. Let's check her out.
As long as you have the money.
Looks like a black market woman.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Oh my god, it can't be. It's one of those fucking ladies. It's one of those people.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
A fellow healer, you say?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
She's healthy, so I don't need to do anything with her.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Interesting. Swanborough cordial.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
She looks like a butcher to me.
I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Interesting. Over here then, right? Looks like I'm getting close. Let me remove that. No, that might be him.
Good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. I should never have taken up my father's business.
Oh.
Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
So there were, there were skulls.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Interesting. Isn't that the guy I was just looking at over there?
Right then. Show me what you have.
Interesting. Oh. Could be useful. Oh my god! I did not realize that was that expensive. I should have paid attention. Okay. I think that's good enough for now.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Interesting.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Oh. Interesting.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Well, he's quite the charmer.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
Like I said, charmer.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Huh. How nice.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Okay, I still haven't found the person I'm looking for. That must be the journalist.
I don't have your money. Come on, Barrett, you pay for peace of mind. Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I'd prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
Wow.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Who's this?
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Oh, she's a prostitute. Awesome. I have a vampire dick you might want to try.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Oh.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly, but it is not your concern, Doctor.
Fatigue. I can give her that.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Interesting.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Yes, of course. Here.
Do you need any assistance, Miss Popper?
It depends on the price of your medicine.
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you, sir.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
That's right. As a doctor, I must heal others using the serum of my pants. Oh wait, never mind. Who's this bloke?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed,
Close.
and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
What? A doctor's not a scientist, but maybe they're...
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Oh yes, it's corrupted, alright. He's healthy.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Yes. The cemetery, remember. A prime place for vampires or undead zombies coming out of the ground. Great job. Preaching to the graves will really help.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Yes. I'm sure he'll definitely enjoy that.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
What?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Oh my god! I can't believe what I'm hearing. This is ridiculous. Okay.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Answers about my current status as a vamp.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
What?
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled
Why
in
did
a
that
world
happen?
of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion.
Why did that happen? I didn't touch any
But
button.
what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean,
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Interesting.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
But this is the 20th century.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad. And dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you?
Also,
Quite a judgment.
but you are seeking.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
Okay. Sure.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
What a clown. What?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Public health, huh?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Interesting.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Huh. Oh, that's interesting. He's also has fatigue. Everyone's fucking fatigued in this game. Fuck.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Oh yes, they certainly have.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Yes, and I'm sure Piper will be pleased to know that her fellow reporters are doing their damn job.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Piper Wright from Fallout 4, by the way, if you guys don't remember.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I must confess, some of my rational views have been shaken by recent events.
I'll remember to stay away from the district's roughest streets then.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
I don't even know what... Interesting. Small fabricator with a voucher for a free medical checkup hidden between the flowers. If you are sick, if you have no money, whoever you are, wherever you're from, come see Dorothea to get help. No tricks, no charges, no questions asked. Just find Dara's... It's the same thing. Camellia, huh?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
Huh.
Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever.
They cut her tongue out, that's why she can't talk.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it?
Wow.
Very well. Goodbye, then.
Either she's being mute because she doesn't have a tongue, or something else is afoot. No, where was that mailbox? Oh, there we go. My dearest, most beloved children, I'm so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when My children are still living in a country consumed by war, but there is also a war going on here in England, a war against poverty, against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I'm writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown-ups now, and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifice we sometimes must accept to make the world a better place? This is what I must make now, to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my granddaughter for me, and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am, as ever, your loving father. Interesting.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Again with this shit. Okay.
It's locked, all right.
Maybe the other side, maybe?
Imprisoned by your daily routine, unable to see the true horror around you.
Oh, shut up. What a moron. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Talk about a dangerous place to be at right now.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
A cold. God damn it.
Did you know the Mute Florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
Oh, yes.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
Well, at least he admits it.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Oh, yes.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Yes.
May I ask you a few questions? Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you, for a start, my dear Doctor.
Oh, okay. Yes, that totally makes sense.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
That's quite interesting.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Interesting.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Sadly, that will have to wait until next time. Because it's time for me to... I need to get back to the hideout.
Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
Goodbye, miss.
God damn it. I thought she was a different person. Alright. So, I have to craft like 500 million, potions to cure fatigue. Oh my god. Unbelievable. It's terrible. Stupid headphones is hurting my ears, but I think it's not the headphones as so much as my glasses being putting pressure up between my ears, you know, where the glasses, the edge of the glasses go. I should definitely have enough. Well, but hold on a second. Let's see. No. Okay, let's see. Fatigue. Bronchitis. I already got the cure for this. Cold. I don't remember if I got the cure for this yet. He has a migraine, which I don't have the ability to cure yet. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm sorry, that's a headache. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh god. 9, technically. So yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holy balls. Bronchitis? I already have one for that. A cold. Which one had the cold? Did I already give him that thing already? Let's see. Okay, I'll make one thing for the cold. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'll do this. Alright guys, so next time we come back, I don't know when the next time I'm going to record again, but first I want to start uploading these videos on YouTube, so you'll probably be seeing this on my birthday, the 29th, which is Monday, and this will be good because this is going to be all pretty much for like horror week, you know. The whole week is going to be all horror themes, so I'm probably going to be doing a lot of Vampyr stuff this week, so I recorded a lot, almost like 8 hours. It's so nice. I love it. We're almost 8 hours. I'd say 7.5 hours. So I come back. We'll start healing all these people, and hopefully everything will be fine. There we go. Good, it's saving.